I'm about to tell you something I've never said out loud. Not to a therapist, not to a priest, not even to myself in the mirror. My best friend spent 4 years in prison for a crime I committed, and when she got out, she thanked me for being there for her family. I still don't know how I'm going to live with that. Her name was Renee. We met in 10th grade chemistry class. We were the kind of close where you don't knock, you just walk in. Broke, ambitious, roommates by 19, working 2 jobs, each trying to get through community college. She was the responsible one. I was the one who always had one more idea that was going to fix everything. I was in debt. Real debt, the kind where you stop opening mail. I was working the register at a pharmacy, and I started skimming. Small amounts first, then not so small. Over about 7 months, I took almost $14,000 from that store, mostly through voided transactions I'd pocket the cash from. When corporate finally caught the discrepancy, they pulled the schedule for every shift the money went missing. Renee had covered for me twice when I called in sick hungover, honestly, and signed in under my employee number, because the manager let people do that if you texted ahead. It was supposed to be a favor between friends. When the investigation happened, her name was on the login for 2 of the theft days. Mine wasn't. Because I'd used her number those days on purpose, I told myself it was just borrowing her shift, not that I was building her a frame. I told myself I'd explain everything once it blew over. It didn't blow over. It became a police report. Then a court date. I sat in the back of that courtroom and watched her lawyer, a public defender, who'd met her twice, tell a judge she was a young woman making a mistake. I had the confession sitting in my throat like a stone, and I swallowed it. She got 4 years. 4 years for $14,000 that wasn't even fully proven to be hers, because she had a prior shoplifting charge from when she was 17, and the DA used it to paint a pattern. I remember her mother's face when the sentence was read. I remember Renee not looking for me in the crowd because she didn't know I was there. I told myself I'd write to her, explain everything in a letter. I wrote 4 drafts and burned every one. For 4 years, I visited her twice a month. I brought her books, stamps, money for commissary. I told myself that made it okay, like I was paying some kind of debt in installments. She'd ask how I was doing, and I'd say stressed about work, like the 2 things were even in the same universe. Her little brother stopped talking to their mom because he blamed her for embarrassing the family her fiancé left within the first year. I watched her lose everything in real time, from the visitor's side of a plexiglass window, and I kept my mouth shut every single visit. She got out 8 months ago. I picked her up. She hugged me in the parking lot and said, "You're the only one who never gave up on me." I have never felt more like garbage in my entire life. I helped her find an apartment. I helped her get a job at a place that does background checks holistically. Every time she thanked me, I felt something crack a little further. She doesn't know. She has no idea her best friend, the one who visited every 2 weeks, who cried with her mother, who helped her rebuild, is the reason she has a felony record at 26 years old. I think about the version of this where I told the truth back then. Maybe I'd have done a year, maybe less, first offense, restitution plan. She'd have finished her degree on schedule. She'd probably still have Marcus. She'd have a life that looks nothing like the one she's stitching together now out of my silence. I paid off the $14,000 anonymously to the pharmacy's parent company 2 years ago, Like that fixes anything. It doesn't touch what her record costs her every time a background check runs. I don't know if I'm ever going to tell her. I've started the sentence in my head probably 500 times. Renee, I need to tell you something. And every time I picture her face doing the math, realizing 4 years, her brother, her engagement, her degree, all of it, was mine to carry, and I let her carry it instead. I don't know which is worse anymore, what I did or what I'm still doing by staying quiet. If you've ever let someone take the fall for you, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I just needed someone to know. If this story hit you somewhere real, if it made you think about a secret you're still carrying, or a person you owe an apology you've never said out loud, you are not alone in that. More people are sitting with something like this than you'd ever guess just by looking at them. We put on a good face. We show up to the barbecues, the birthdays, the group chats, but some of us are carrying a version of tonight's story too. So drop a comment. Tell me what part of this hit hardest. I read every single one, and I mean that. Your response matters to us more than any view count ever could. Because this channel isn't just about stories. It's about the people who see themselves in them. And if you want more of these real confessions, real guilt, real weight, hit subscribe and like this video so it reaches someone else who needs to hear they're not the only one. I'll see you in the next one.